We're back again with another episode of Roofer Reflections. I'm really excited to have Lauren here. Lauren, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Tats. I'm excited to be here.
I'm always interested in talking to people from various backgrounds within the roofing industry, but I'm especially interested in talking to people that are like earlier in their career. So I'm excited to get your insight, in and around your experience with roofing.
I've been in it now for just about 3 years full time. But my grandfather started our business about 60 years ago, almost. I believe we're coming up on that, 59 years-ish. And my father got into it as a teenager. And then my whole life, I always knew I wanted to do this. From 4 years old, my dad used to take me out to job sites at Princeton University. I would sit in his office when he would work. I'd trace blueprints. So even though I went to college and I studied marketing and political science, I knew that this was the route I was going to take.
You were around this your whole life. What are some fun early memories that you had?
The first job I ever went out on, we were doing a waterproofing project at Princeton University, and it was at the football field. And my dad had taken me out there. I got to meet the crew. I remember meeting the foreman, and I was on quite a few job sites. So I remember getting to know like some of the guys and their names and being around them growing up. So it kind of made working here nice because we've had so many of the same people for decades that it's kind of funny for them now to be seeing me as I'm 25 and I'm a project manager and estimator, and now like I'm running projects that they're on and they're working like for me. So it's kind of a full circle moment.
I guess if you're around, these individuals for so long, it just feels like an extension of your family.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm really lucky that we have so many good people here that have been with us for a long time. And even some of the newer people, I think that this culture that I'm trying to create is very humanistic. I really do care about everyone that works here, like family. Some have become my closest friends. My cousin does all of our safety. I have some family that's involved, my father, and it's nice. It makes it something that you care about a little more than maybe the average person would. So
one of the focuses in the roofing industry is try to attract sort of the next generation into the industry. Like being someone that's younger, like what do you think others can learn in terms of like trying to make either the roofing industry better or your company better to attract more younger people into the industry or your company?
It's so tough. I feel like so many GCs come in and take a lot of the kids that are in the construction management programs. I think like for kids that are studying like that construction side or engineering or architecture in college. I think for myself, what's important is to get the word out there that there's, if it's not roofing or if it is another trade, like subcontractors need people. There's so many opportunities, like within sales, or if you work for a contractor, getting into doing some sort of design, like there's something for everyone. I know National Women in Roofing, which I'm a part of. I'm the co-chair of the Central New Jersey Council. We really try and do a good job of providing, here's free student memberships. If you're a student, you can join this and kind of be introduced into the training or the education side of roofing to kind of get your feet wet in it, and to get to talk to people that have had, many different backgrounds within this industry, whether it's from a union company or a non-union company, residential or, commercial side of things. I think that's important to offer kids that are trying to figure out what path that they want to take, just to give them a little bit of that experience and maybe insight into how truly amazing that this industry can be, because there's so many ways to progress within it. It's so free flowing, and I feel like it's really never stagnant to just one path that you can take.
What do you think you need to do to sort of, evolve and keep moving forward?
We specifically at our company focus a lot on pharmaceutical work, higher education, and healthcare. So I think it's interesting to see how those kind of sectors are developing and changing, especially from the pharmaceutical side. You see a lot more research and development going on, and just continuing to be a part of those projects and developing like lifelong kind of relationships with a lot of these general contractors that we work for. So something that's been important to me is kind of developing relationships with a lot of those people that work for some of those GCs that we've been working for since, the 1980s or the 1990s or the early 2000s, really introducing myself to them and allowing them to see that I can be a resource. It's not just my father that you have to rely on now. My grandfather's been retired now for pretty much retired for a few years. So he's down in Florida now. But he's mostly out of it. He's like 80. But for me, it's getting the GCs to see, hey, I can be a resource to you. Hey, if you need me to come out and look at this roof or give you kind of my take on how I see things, or here's kind of a potential design or avenue that you want to take. Just being able to get people to trust me and see that even though I might be young, that doesn't matter. I'm always here as a resource to them, and I can make sure that if they need something, that I can provide that to them.
For people that haven't sort of stuck their toe into the roofing industry but are curious and wondering what the first few steps could look like, what sort of advice do you have for them?
Really be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's one of the big things for me is, you're never going to know anything, and you have to kind of accept that. Never be afraid to ask questions, because there is no stupid question that you can ask. This is such a technical industry, especially on like the commercial side. We deal with really intense, architecturally challenging projects with the sectors that we work in. And speaking for maybe commercial roofing in general, there's so many different systems. You could work in re-roofing, new construction, restorations. There's always something to learn. So I think being willing to learn and being resourceful. I spend a lot of time trying to read up on different manufacturers, what they might be offering. I go to a lot of different trainings. I think being a part of groups as well that you can find maybe mentors in, like National Women in Roofing. I think that they do a really fantastic job of offering opportunities for the education, for networking, getting yourself out there, and being able to be around people that work in distribution, people that work in manufacturing. All these different moving parts tie together within this industry. So the more that you're able to expand your network and learn how everything is kind of interconnected, and I think that's important.